not. Let me say this. The problem we were facing yesterday is not about justice. It's not even justice about families who lost their loved ones. It's not even about genuine expression of views by citizens. It was just purely politics. And yesterday's game was political. But for people who are impatient to wait for the next elections, they think there is something they can do between now and next elections to get this administration out of office. They also think that because they are facing serious political upheavals, that orchestrating violence will help them negotiate a better passage from their current political challenges. So we know them, and Kenyans know them. And I have no doubt they will start running around the country with their propaganda, the usual. Oh, we are being targeted, our cousins are being targeted. It will not take long before you will see them making the noise. But let me tell them, they are not above the law. They are not above the law. And I have said this before. We will make sure that this country is protected. And we cannot be intimidated. And I just want to repeat that. And then, unfortunately, the people of Kenya, through Parliament, have not put aside budget for compensating those whose properties are destroyed and looted through such occasions. And we do not have budgetary allocation as a government to do so. And if we were to be providing budget that will compensate people all the time when their properties are looted at this point in time, then the best law would have been those who are protest organizers should be bearing greatest responsibility. That is why you heard me say it's important to have a law that will clearly define who are the organizers of the protest, where do they want to, what is the purpose of this protest, when do they want to have the protest, where will they start the protest, which route will it follow, and where will it end? And should there be anything that is, should these protesters loot people's properties, what will happen? It is also important to organize public protests in such a way that the police can then provide necessary escort. The reason why I cited Mombasa is because Mr. Ali Nuno, who is the regional police commander, was properly briefed. The protesters followed defined route in Mombasa. They started at 10, they finished at 12. There was a small group that wanted to cause chaos at some point, but it wasn't a serious one, and the protest was closed. That is an example of how public protest should be done, not the kind of mayhem and chaos that we witnessed in the city. And therefore, unfortunately, the government of Kenya does not have a budgetary allocation from Parliament that takes care of any form of compensation. That does not mean that the government of Kenya is not feeling the pain of the businesses. When I went to OTC today at the bus station, and all of us as a team when we went there, you saw, I met a lady who lost her husband 7 months ago, and she has loans. And she has, this business she's running was worth about, the capital required is about 200,000. Now, as a government, you would say, yes, we have no budget to do so. But all of us as well-wishers, other business people, even from government, even as leaders, to see the most vulnerable ones, what can you do to help them in such a difficult situation? I have also been asked by Daniel that there are people who do not trust the justice system. Unfortunately, this is our country. And that's why when we tell all the protesters that let's make protests peaceful, let's protect our nation, there is no other country. The same people who will say today, we don't trust our justice system, are the same people whom when we say we want to regulate protests, they will say, no, you cannot regulate our right. It's important that protests are regulated. And also important for us to trust our institutions. the DCI and the police here have done a fantastic job to unearth so many cases in the country. We have the capacity and the human resource to make sure that we investigate and arrest people. And that's why I'm saying we will arrest. We have arrested already some who were arrested yesterday. Some will be arrested today. Some will be arrested over the weekend. But we want to make sure that all those people who are prosecuted, there is enough evidence, and we want to request the judiciary to work with us and work with the police, National Police Service, to ensure that all those characters are brought to justice. On the question of some people being escorted by the police who are goons, we will be happy to receive also reports from citizens to record statements so that if there will be such incidences where there was infraction on any part of government officer, of course it will be investigated in the right manner. But by and large, yesterday was a great success in terms of the police work, even though the distraction that went all the way to almost midnight. All these goons who were brought all the way from Muranga, some of them were brought from Nyeri, some were brought from Kirinyaga, most of these goons were left in town. Some were left in Thika Road. And so as they were going back home, they caused immense havoc last night in Thika town, looting people's businesses.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Eric Omondi hapa, president of comedy Africa.
Yo, this is Kushman, pedi wa magenge.
Mambo vipi watu wangu wa Nairobi na Kenya mzima?
Subscribe
Kwa stories za nini?
254
across all social media platforms.
Hapana kuchanganya. Na huyo ndo Dori, subscribe right now. Finya sahi. Sa wewe finya.